listening and stuff.
All right, it's 3 o'clock. We'll call our regular monthly meeting to order. Before we get going, are there any conflicts of interest that need to be declared by any of the commissioners today? All right, thank you. Hearing none, we'll move on to item 2, approve the consent agenda, approve the minutes and ratify the payment of bills. Was there anything?
I would note that being Kathy made a number of motions, we should have her name as being present at the meeting.
You know, it's funny, I just noticed that as I'm reading this, because I didn't have her to remove.
Other than that, I'll make a
Thank
motion to approve the consent agenda.
Thanks.
Motion by Bob, second by Anthony. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Item 2 is approved. Item 3 is to approve the financial statements.
I just have one quick thing to mention. I just got the invoice about an hour ago for the transmission, and it's about 65,000 short. So if you take that off the electric's profit, that gets it pretty close to break even for the month. And then you toss in those other sales of vehicle sales of 107, and you're pretty close to last year's $108,000 loss. That's all I have.
Yeah, I didn't have too much either. Just wanted to mention, I know I mentioned last month, the investment report. We added about $5 million of idle cash in some of our banks into some short-term treasuries and 3 CDs. So just to try to glob a little bit more interest rate on some of that short-term stuff and hopefully help some of our interest earnings on the financial statement. So you'll see that reflected in the investment report this month. Otherwise, everything is pretty good.
Do you have any questions from any of the commissioners?
No, I just had one question. It was on the electric division consumption. There's one of the rate classes, industrial, that was down a fair amount. And 22 as compared to 21's consumption. Is there anything there noteworthy, or is that just timing, happenstance?
A little bit of timing, but the heat last June was extremely hot relative to this year, so consumption I knew was going to be down this year relative with just the temperature.
Good.
So
Even on a year-to-date basis, though, it's also down, but
just the hair, yeah.
okay. Nothing that you're aware of that we should be thoughtful about?
No, nothing's particularly as far as operations or anything that stands out. It's just more weather related.
Okay. That's all I have.
All right, anyone care to make a motion?
Make a motion to approve the financial statements as presented.
I'll second it.
Motion by Anthony, second by Bob. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 3 is approved. Item 4, open forum. We have no new guests. Item 5 is communication. City Administrator. Hi, Matt.
If you guys, I don't have a whole lot. We're just in the middle of finishing or working on projects. The police station's on schedule. Ice arenas, get a new facade, a new HVAC unit, and then our street projects are about a month out of schedule, so which is good. So, that's about it.
All right, thank you. Divisions?
As a quick update on the Hutchinson transmission upgrade project. MRES will be taking the project to the working group on Friday, presenting it, and they'll be requesting that we fast track the project, or they approve that they fast track it. So then, if they do, then they'll take it to MISO, and we're looking to have approval by October-ish from MISO, and then we can start moving forward with that project. Sounds like it has support in the working group, so that's a good thing. So basically approval to fast track it. They don't have a problem with the project, but they get a little picky when we ask for to speed it up. So they want to be careful of who they allow. They don't have to happen all the time. But it sounds like that has some backing that's worth doing quickly. So that's where we're at now. If anything changes, we'll let you know, but Friday is when I'll be presenting it to the transmission working group.
Dan or Jeremy, does that fast tracking, potential fast tracking of that project require anything from the commission?
I would say not at this point. I mean, obviously we'll have to go through approval process and work on how we're going to finance and fund it once it gets approved. So we'll have plenty of time to work through that piece as it, I would say that probably starts happening either late end of this year, early next year.
Okay.
So, but we'll be well ahead of that first thing we need to do is know if it's gonna get approved and kind of what timeline it's on.
Good. Thank you, Dan.
I have nothing to do.
Nothing. John?
Just a couple small items. Large customer south of us that's going to interconnect with us next year. I've been talking with them. They are out securing easements for their line, and their plan is to be flowing gas by next fall. So I have started talking to consultants to do the engineering for us, because if we wait too long, we won't be able to get our equipment in time. So I want to try to speed it up a little bit. Shouldn't have to spend much money this year. Most of the spend will be next year, but I just want to get things rolling.
And I would guess this fall's a deadline for them, right?
Well, no, they actually have another year, I believe, on their contract.
2024.
But they just want to be ahead of schedule.
Okay.
So I've prepared an interconnect agreement for them and a transportation agreement based on all of our other ones. I got to do some more tweaking yet, I'll bring them before the board for approval. Last item, tomorrow, weather permitting, we'll be flying our pipeline, our annual flight, to look for leaks, patrolling, anything we can find. It's a requirement of DOT that we don't have to fly it, but we've got so many ditch crossings and field crossings, that's the only way you can really see it.
Okay.
I don't have anything.
Brenda, anything today?
Yes, I do. I just wanted to say that this is my last meeting, as I'll be retiring next month. So I just want to express my thanks and gratitude to the commission for being so enjoyable to work with all these years. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Brenda.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for all your assistance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what these people have to say. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Angie, anything today?
No.
Nothing? Legal? Mark?
Nothing.
Nothing? General manager?
Just a couple things. We're working on a few contracts here, so we may ask you guys to have a special meeting in between this meeting and the next one in August. There's 5 weeks in August, 5 Wednesdays, so we'll have a 6-week span here. So we're just working on a power supply contract with a prospective customer in town, working on a contract to remove units 3, 4, and 8 downtown. So we're working on that piece. We did have one proposal that came in on the advertisement for bid to essentially, they were willing to provide us $2,500 for scrap value and then incur all the cost to remove all those units from the downtown plant. So if we can get that contract put together and signed, that would save us a significant amount of capital dollars to do that stuff on our own. So working on those 2 contracts, and then just have been working on some cost of service information that I sent to Jared so we can forward that on to the consultants working on our stuff. So he's also been sending a bunch of stuff their way too, so that process has started and we're starting to move forward with data entry and analysis and things of that nature. So that's what's going on in the short term here.
All right, thank you, Jeremy. Item 6 are policies. I thought there was just some, just to review, no changes. No unfinished business. Agenda item number 8 is to readopt the data practices policy of Hutchinson Utilities. Hi, Mark.
Hello. So as noted in the board action form, we have to do this every year prior to August 1st. There are no changes that are proposed in the policy. There's been no change in state law regarding data practices and the policy that we have to adopt. But basically, in a nutshell, our policy talks about the types of data that we have, how it's classified, what people are entitled to get, who's in charge of disseminating the data, how long it might take for people to get the data, and how much the data might cost, if anything. And it's those 5 or 6 things that the policy addresses, and I'd ask that you adopt it.
Sounds pretty simple.
I'll make a motion to readopt the data practices policy for Hutch Utilities.
And I'll second that.
Motion by Bob, second by Anthony. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thanks.
Item 8 is approved. Item 9 is to adjourn. Anybody care to make a motion?
Move to adjourn.
Motion by